All right, start now.
Don't run off. What are you doing, Sarah? Come me and the breakfast, do a devotion for them at our church, 8:00. Saturday.
We have our celebration.
Oh, I'm sorry. I get you next month. then.
47, didn't we get today?
Number one. Hey, is that cat abroad? How you say that?
You already went through all that? Yeah.
Hey, she's she's printing you don't know why you didn't get it. Sherry, the bills, she's getting them.
It broke, gotta fix it.
But that's the only thing for him that needs to be covered with that one.
It's understandable. Good, sir. I would do that.
9 o'clock.
I would do that.
Y'all ready? I guess we'll, call the meeting to order. Y'all would, for identification, Mr. Joe Shannon, pastor of the Watson Chapel United Methodist Church.
Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for giving us one more day to serve you in your community. We pray for our commissioners, each and every one of them. Guide them and direct them, Lord. We ask you so much to bless our community. Bless the people who are in it. Guide us and direct us all. Lead us on as we pretend to keep going with you. Lord, we just ask you to bless our nation. Going through some turmoil, Lord. We just pray so much with them. And we thank you for the leadership that we have locally. We have nationally. Lord, we just want to also bring up our children. Lord, they have an education and they're so proud here in our community. We put them first. Guide us, direct us, love us. Lord, bless us all. In thy name we pray.
Amen.
I don't guess Miss Lowe is gonna make it. We had an open, public hearing, but looks like Miss Lowe is not here. She's not outside, is she, Shannon? Miss Lowe?
I think that matter may have already been resolved.
I think Commissioner White has already resolved that matter. Nobody here? Okay, so we're just gonna, since it's nobody else, we're just gonna close the public hearing and move on then. And also too, Judge Weeks had a meeting in Jasper at the same time as the Commissioner's Court meeting this morning that he had to go attend, so we're gonna try to make it through this without him. I guess we're gonna close the public hearing, move on to the consent agenda. it looks like we don't have the, Angela, you didn't send the county clerk minutes over? Okay. And, what about your report, the county clerk report? Not that either? Okay, all right. And Sherry, you're getting our bills, right?
Yes.
All right. Need a motion on the.
Second motion.
Commissioner White made the motion and Commissioner Thompson seconded. All right, I guess we're gonna move on to deliberate and consider action on the following items. So we're gonna move Ms. Burks up to being number one. She's not feeling well. So we're gonna move her up to be number one. And it says, approve refund the Catapult Construction Incorporated for PIN number 44104 in the amount of $6,590.36 on rollback tax calculations changed with taxpayer provided to the NCAD that only half of the land had a change of use resulting in a refund to the taxpayer. Ms. Burks?
Yes, sir. Yes, everyone, the taxpayer had already made their check out. It was in the mail. But they did provide proof, solid evidence that only half of the 466.91 acres had a change of use. The other half still has timber and still qualified for the temporary exemption. So as a result, this produced a large refund of $6,590.36. And if it would please the court, I would appreciate approval of this refund.
And we had moved that at up to 5,000, right? Where you didn't have to come to the court?
Yes, sir, up to 5,000.
Need a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
Need a Commissioner Benson made the motion and Commissioner White seconded. All in favor say aye. Opposed? None? Pass.
Thank y'all.
Go get feeling better.
Thank you.
Okay, looks like we're gonna go back up to number one now. Number one is proclaim April 2022 as a Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month with the proclamatory allowing CASA of the Sabine Natchez region to place a pinwheel garden on the courthouse lawn for the month of April, as well as holding an evening virtual one weekday evening in April at 6 p.m. at the new courthouse lawn. And Miss Watkins was not here, so Miss Elizabeth is gonna do that for us.
So I'll read the proclamation for her, and this is what y'all will be voting on. And then I did talk to her this morning when she called and said she wasn't gonna be able to attend. He gave me some dates for those two events if y'all want to go and vote on this and decide to do it. So the proclamation is Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month, April 2022. Whereas in the federal fiscal year 2021, the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services confirmed 68,517 victims of child abuse or neglect through 113 counties. And whereas our children are our most valuable resources and shape our future, and child abuse and neglect are serious crimes affecting every segment of our community and has long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects that can have lifelong consequences for victims. Additionally, the impact of abuse and neglect has long-term personal, economic, and social costs therefore hurting the future of our community. And whereas prevention remains the best defense for our children and families. And whereas finding solutions requires input and action from everyone in our community, and we acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and contribute to promote the social and economic, emotional well-being of children and families in a safe, stable, nurturing environment. Whereas effective child abuse prevention activities succeed because of the meaningful connections and partnerships created between child welfare, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, businesses, and law enforcement agencies. And volunteers, communities must make every effort to encourage volunteerism and promote programs and activities that benefit children and their families. Whereas court-appointed special advocates, which is CASA volunteers, are assigned by the court to speak up for a child's best interest and help ensure a child's voice is heard. Every child in foster care deserves a CASA volunteer, but roughly less than half the children in care do not have a CASA volunteer. And whereas CASA of the Sabine Neches River region, Child Protective Services, Child Advocacy Centers, foster parents, teachers, and other work to ensure that children in our community have a safe, happy future. Now, therefore, I, the Honorable Keith F. Weeks, do hereby proclaim April 2022 as Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month in Newton County, Texas, and urge all citizens to recognize this month by dedicating ourselves to the task of improving the quality of life for all children and families. I'm Judge Weeks. So she is asked to do the pit wheels on April the 1st, which is a Friday. And we'll probably get the elementary school kids involved with putting those out, and they'll be out here on the courthouse lawn. And then also the evening vigil she would like to do on Thursday, April the 7th at 6 p.m. And I'll be calling for several ministers to do prayer before and after, and then do one that would like to speak during that. So they'll have a table set up out on the lawn. So that's what you're voting on this.
Is there gonna be any other communication? Sound like that was pointed, the event is gonna be pointed for children education, but parents are responsible, and somehow or another, we need to inform them that we have accepted April as a child abuse awareness. I don't know, through Facebook or something, but I
I'll
think that
make sure this gets on my Facebook and then also gets.
Okay.
And on
I make that motion.
Need a second?
second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Benson and seconded by Commissioner White. And, all in favor?
Aye.
Same, opposed? Hear none, passed. Okay, number 2, accept and appropriate approving hiring Barbara Shiley to assist with the Newton County audit. Ms. Courtney?
Sure. Since the judge couldn't be here, he asked me to present this item. Barbara is the person that helped with the 2020 audit, that helped the auditor's office get ready to be audited. And it's my understanding those books still need to be closed out, as well as get started on the 21 audit. Last quarter, there was an engagement letter with Charles Reed and Associates, and Mr. Milton's recommendation was to have somebody also assist with that audit. And so Barbara would be doing that, as well as going back to January 1st of 2020, taking a look at the books going forward, which should have been done when we transitioned to a new auditor. Something should have been done then. And so she and everybody has agreed on that an outside audit should have been done at that time. But the judge wants to go back to January 1st of 2020 and audit the books and till present. And so it's approving Barbara to perform those services.
And she's also gonna help us with the prison, right?
Yeah, so enterprise and all of the journal entries that come with that, and then being able to do that so that the books can be closed for 2020. She's gonna help with that too.
Thank you, Ms. Courtney. Need a motion?
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Both sides opposed? None passed. Okay, number 3, discuss an appropriate request audit department to proceed with bid process to acquire insurance coverage for property coverage of Newton County properties and buildings. Sherry, you want to talk, does anybody know anything about that?
First I heard about it when you told me on Thursday.
Ms. Courtney, you want to talk about that a little bit?
I don't really know, other than, I think about this time of year, I don't see anybody from the corrections office either, but I think that we usually go out and get bids on insurance coverage, and we've always used TAC, and so I think, yeah, I guess doing a request for proposal from.
We can do that, I mean, we can get something together and get it out for bid, but I just had no idea.
I think it's just due, right? 2 more months. I think we're
Yeah,
2
and
months.
it says it's due in July.
It's been out.
Right.
It doesn't Yeah, I didn't know, she told me on Thursday.
Yeah, it's my understanding, it just came out last week, came down last week too, right, Ms. Elizabeth? So it'll be, just to open up for bids and see if we can get any better quotes for our insurance.
See, always on.
Christie, is that right? Just they, that's right, they do health insurance, so property insurance would be Elizabeth, and is that your understanding of what needs to happen today? It's
Yes, yes, we just
Asking-
start the bid process.
During the bid
And
process.
that is just for, personal property, for the counties. Property coverage only. Not for auto, I handle the auto and the property, and so it's just for the property.
Just for property, not auto. Okay.
Is it why they won't renew it?
It is not.
That's either letter.
That's it. That's
We'll
all.
tell no reason.
Can I see a copy of that letter? I mean, I haven't seen it, but please look at it, see.
I need a motion. Need a motion.
I make a motion.
Need a second?
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Thompson and seconded by Commissioner White. All in favor, use the same sign. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Pass. Number 4, discuss an appropriate request audit department to proceed with the bid process to acquire a double wide for precinct 1 office location for the county commissioner, Danny Benson, Justice of the Peace, Connie Smith, Constable Colton Haverford, and motor vehicle restoration office for tax assessor Melissa Burns. Commissioner Benson?
I'm trying to get everybody in one location, precinct 1. Plus, I think it'd help on our light bills and our phone bills and paying rent, these other buildings. I talked to Miss Sherry, I had like 68,000 I could spare, but I'm gonna go 60 of it. And then the insurance that I have from Laura, we're gonna put that toward it and should be enough to cover the double wide that we've been looking at, but we had to go through the process of going out to bids.
How much is the double wide that you're looking at?
100,000. I think we paying $250 a month for Miss Connie's rent. That eliminate all that. I think it'd help precinct 1 because we all be in one general location. We won't have run around the whole precinct finding everybody.
That's part of the plan we had talked about earlier, getting all 4 precincts combined so we can reduce rent and cost, annual cost. That's what I'm doing in my precinct, is getting the JP in the same building.
Yeah, with the JPs.
Then poor old Colton, he's here and there and everywhere. We'll have him in office. So people can talk to him.
You're needing 40,000 out of insurance. You talk to the judge on your breakdown on your insurance.
Yes, I talked to him, and he said I got enough to cover it. I don't know what the whole breakdown was, but I know I had enough to cover
You
it.
go out for bids. Here to this 100,000.
Yes.
I will be the only precinct left with no, that hasn't combined their offices. The rest of y'all, Deweyville, Dana, Commissioner Thompson, DPS, Parks and Wildlife, everybody else is pretty much, in one location, which in my eyes, it sure makes it a lot easier to go see one office.
I got people coming in, want to see Miss Connie, and then just where I do my taxes, there's no next building down. They ask where Colton is, I just give them the phone number.
Okay, I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
That's it.
I just need to get the specs of how many offices exactly, what's your, the layout, so we can go out for bids.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, we got, he's got all that.
I get Donna to fax it to you or email it. Fax it over. Hear that, Donna?
I need a motion. Oh, I got.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Motion's been made by
Thank you.
Commissioner Thompson, seconded by Commissioner White. All in favor, the same sign. Aye. Pose sign, same. Passed. Number 5, authorize Goodman, Lassiter, Strong to advertise for construction bids on drainage mitigation, County Road 3062 and County Road 4085. It's a TDM HMGP DR 4332-1044 TX. I guess, Pat, you gonna do it? Morning.
We had a conference call with the Texas Division of Emergency Management last Monday. And they advised us that on precinct 1's project, we can move into what they term phase 2. Is the beginning and construction of the project. And we're here this morning to get your authorization. Just to have a quick update. When we had our conference call, we talked to them about the projects and precincts, all precincts, the 2 that are outstanding to get approval from them to move into phase 2. Precinct 2 and 4. And as of right now, they say they're going through those plans and hopefully we'll be getting approval to go into phase 2 relatively soon on those. We just wanted to bring this one to you so we keep the ball rolling.
So one of them's in 1 and the other one's in 4?
Yes, sir.
No,
No. Precinct 2. and
Oh,
4,
okay.
Has projects that we're still awaiting their approval.
Okay.
This one here is at 4085, 3662.
Oh, that's the one that down there on me.
Yeah.
Okay. That road's on me now, Pat.
That's been 3 years coming, right?
Yes, sir.
At least for
Correct.
You know that road's on me now, right?
4085 is on him. Though.
Is it? Okay, all right,
I heard the preacher the other day for it.
okay, all right. Congratulations.
Need a motion.
I make that motion.
Second.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Benson and seconded by Commissioner White. All in favor, use same sign. Aye. All opposed, that same sign. Passed. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you all, appreciate it.
We've already did number 7. Number 8 is accept and appropriate approve the selection of alternate.
Number
Oh, I missed one.
Yeah,
Get back up.
Olin was getting disappointed.
Let me back up. I'm sorry about that.
Disappointed.
Accept and appropriate approve LEPC, Local Emergency Planning Committee.
Commodity flow study.
Commodity Flow Study.
Okay, I'll explain that.
That's a mouthful.
I got an email from TDM, they're
they're opening up a application process for the quality flow study, and what that is they will set up at some different locations and count the number of big trucks, what they are, whether it's log truck, box truck, tanker truck, whatever. And if they have a placard on the side for a hazardous chemical, then that is noted as well. And what they do, we had one of these about 7 or 8 years ago, is they'll compile that information. It comes back to the LEPC, since that's our charge on that. And then that information is given back out to the local fire departments and the sheriff's department. And it lets them know the amount of trucks going through these different locations, and if they have hazardous chemicals, what those chemicals are. So they can review that, and if they see something on there that they haven't trained for, or something that's a little out of whack on the chemical and everything, they can do some reading up on it and be prepared in case there is a chemical spill. Also in this application, through our LEPC, there's the option of doing our truck traffic plus our rail. And so I requested both because we are having a lot of rail cars, you know, in between Bleakwood and Kirbyville that are still in Newton County that are sitting on the side of the road there. And some of them are empty, some have product in them. And if you'll look at some of those placards that's on the side, there's some pretty nasty stuff that's sitting on the side of the road there as well. And this doesn't mean that we will get it. This process, the application closes in August, somewhere between August and the first of the year. TDM will select what LEPCs get their money or get the funding on this. It's 100%. It doesn't cost the county anything. TDM will select the contractor that will actually do the study, and then they won't award that contract until 2023. So, I mean, we're still, you know, a year out before anything's being done, and this is just the first process for us. But again, it doesn't cost the county any money. They go through the local emergency planning committee for all of this, but we thought that it still needed to come to the three commissioners board as well.
We don't have any input on where it goes, where the study.
Whenever we did this before, what they do is they try and get locations. Before it was 75-25, and our 25% was I spent several days, and it's in 15-minute increments. And we did 87 and 63 at Burkeville. There was a stop sign there, and you pick a location because when they stop with that placard on the side, you've just got a short period of time to try and do that. They did 87 and 190 here in Newton, 87 and 363 at Bleakwood, and we did 87 and 12 in Deweyville. And it's done in 15-minute increments, but more than one. I mean, there's several days over a period of time that you gather this information. And that was our 25%. We had to supply some eyes on that. Then they sent, it came through the Texas Transportation Institute before. And so I'm not sure who TDM was. They didn't say, they said they would select the contractor to do the actual study.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Was the railroad going to do the train?
No, it would still be somebody from this contract.
Yeah.
And, you know, if we get selected and they decide to do the rail, this is all for TDM. We just make the request and then they'll make that determination. And then, you know, we have the one on 363, but the one down at Deweyville, the Kansas City Southern, it hauls a tremendous amount of chemicals that go, because it goes from there, it goes to Nederland down that direction. Everything they haul. So there's a lot of stuff that goes through refineries down there on south of those refineries as well.
But we was told here a couple of years ago that train traffic was supposed to pick up to 5 or 6 different cars a day going up and down.
363, it has picked up.
Okay.
There's a lot more, rail traffic. There's a lot more the tanker cars.
Okay.
Now, on the Kansas City Southern, they notify us. It's a federal rule that anytime they call what they call high hazardous freight. In other words, whenever they were hauling a lot of the Bakken crude, it was coming by rail, and it came down through Louisiana, and it came across the river at Deweyville, and then went down to those plants. And anytime there was more than 30-something cars, 39, I think it is together, then they have to notify, but they do a yearly notification, is what they do, unless that changes. And we just got a notification here about 6 months ago that went up to about four trains a week. But then the last couple of weeks, we got another notification that's gone down. And that's all, we don't know the time, the days of the week or anything else, just that those trains are going through the Louisville area.
Thank you, Mr. Bean. Need a motion?
I'll make that motion. Yeah.
Motion's been made by Commissioner White, seconded by Commissioner Thompson. All in favor, use the same sign. All opposed, same sign. Passed. All right, number 8, accept and appropriate approve the selection of alternate Trek housing inspection for CDBG disaster recovery funds for the 2015 and 2016 flood event. Ms. Holloway?
Me now.
Oh, Miss Miss Rhonda.
Grants Department, we had to go out for a small purchase procurement on February 17th for an alternate Trek inspector to conduct our final property inspection reports under the 2015-16 housing program. We contacted 3 home inspectors, by phone and email. One of them was Rawson Home Inspections from Jasper, quoted as $300. Rock Solid Home Inspection out of Silsbee, quoted as $400. Gary Brazier out of Jasper said he was interested, but didn't respond to March the 4th when he hit the deadline. After reviewing all the quotes, Texas Real Estate Commissioner website for expired license and SAM.gov grant department recommends Rawson Home Inspections to complete these final inspections.
How many?
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
That was part of the rule or?
Yes,
Yeah.
in our HUD guidelines, we have to have a Trek inspector to do a final report, final inspection report, finalize for the home, for the keys of release.
Kind of like a walkthrough.
Sorry?
Kind of like a walkthrough.
And we had somebody in line, but he's out of state working for England. So he's not gonna be back to finish up, so we had to do this.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. Okay.
How many homes we looking at?
We are looking at 4 homes that are to complete the remainder of the project. One for 2015, new construct, 1 new construct for 2016, and 2 rehabs under 2016.
Will that close that out?
And we'll close that out. It's here to ask y'all to approve our selection.
And who did you say, Rhonda?
Rawson Home Inspections out of Dallas.
All right, I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Need a second.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Thompson and seconded by Commissioner Benson. All in favor, say like sign. Aye. Pose sign same. None.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. All right, number 10. 9. Accept and appropriate reappoint Howard West and Leon Thornton as a fire commissioner for Newton County Emergency Service District 2 for a 2-year term. That's pretty standard. We just need a motion. Need a motion except,
I make that motion.
a second.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Benson, seconded by Commissioner White. All in favor, like same sign. Aye. Post sign same, pass. Okay, number 10, accept and approve canvassing for election returns for the March 1st, 2022 Republican and Democratic primary election.
Did you get to it? Or would you want me to read?
You can just read them.
Okay.
Read them where everybody can hear it.
Okay.
Read them where everybody can hear it.
Okay.
Start with the Democratic primary. It's shorter. For United States Representative District 36, John Hare had 176 votes. For governor, Rich Wakeland had 4, Michael Cooper had 21. And Cynthia Barrientos had 3, Beto O'Rourke had 196, Joy Diaz had 5. For Lieutenant Governor, Michelle Beckley had 74. Mike Collier had 78, and Carla Brayley had 52. For Attorney General, Mike Fields had 58, Rochelle Garza had 69, Lee Merrick had 38, Zaworski had 30, and S. Rainer had 13. Tim Mahoney had 94, Janet Dudding 67, Angel Vega 46, Commissioner of General Land Office Jay Fleberg had 46, Sandra Grace Martinez 53, Appeal had 1,957. For Judge Court of Criminal Appeals, Place 5, Clint Morgan had 752. Scott Walker had 1,363. Judge Court of Criminal Appeals, Place 6, Jesse McClure III had 1,840. For member, State Board of Education, District 7, Abalaji Ayobami had 49. Julie Pickren had 917. Michael Barton had 819. And Janice Swin had 262. For State Senator District 3, Robert Nichols had 1,972. We have moved representatives from, so we'll have a totally new representative. And so we've got some unfamiliar names that we've not had before that will be our representative now. But State Representative District 11 is what we're in now. Travis Clardy had 979 votes. Rachel Hale had 365. Mark Williams had 516. Greg Caldwell had 425. Justice Ninth Court of Appeals District Place 2, Jay Wright had 1,145. Stephanie Hall had 980. And District Judge, Judicial District 1A, Delinda Gibbs Walker had 2,089. On the county level, Courtney Ponche had 2,059 votes. For County Judge, Ricky Holmes had 244, Ronnie Cochran 1,409, and Kenneth was 1,201. For District Clerk, Nikki Wyndham had 1,571. Vanessa Woods had 1,033. For County Clerk, Sandra Duckworth had 1,494, and Angie Brooks had 1,279. County Treasurer, Ginger Sims had 2,119. For County Commissioner Precinct 4, Wesley Thompson had 206. Leonard Powell had 544. For Justice of the Peace number 1, Connie Smith had 650. Samantha Woods had 100. For Justice of the Peace number 3, Michael Greer had 675. Justice of the Peace number 4, Dana Ashmore had 708. And County Constable Precinct 1, Colton Havard had 620. And County Constable Precinct 2, Jeff McCoy had 206. For the ballot propositions, for Proposition 1, voted yes, 2,589. Voted no, 152. Proposition 2, voted yes, 2,301. Voted no was 426. Proposition 3, voted yes, 2,476. Voted no, 344. Proposition 4, voted yes, 2,540. Voted no, 223. Proposition 5, voted yes, 2,484. No, 274. Proposition 6, yes is 2,315. No, 384. Proposition 7, voted yes, 2,707. No, 94. Proposition 8, voted yes, 2,631. Voted no, 154. Proposition 9, voted yes, 2,566. Voted no, 240. And for Proposition 10, voted yes, 2,647. Voted no.
Was there any provisional ballots early or?
No, we went the whole election, we didn't have any provisional ballots cast. So I think that's the first time we've ever had not at least one, but.
Okay. Ms. Angel? Made a motion to accept the canvassing.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner White and seconded by Commissioner Benson. All in favor, same sign, aye. Opposed, sign same, none. Passed. Okay, number 11. Present status on active grants being administered by Traylor Associates. Mr. Taylor?
Morning, Commissioners. It's been a few months since we've gone over the grants that we're assisting the county with. So did want to take this opportunity to go over them with y'all, address any questions y'all may have, and kind of give you a status update on the grants themselves. If you look on page 1 of the handout I provided you, the bubble box at the top, those are the Harvey MIT programs, or hazard mitigation grant program grants. Those are actually funded through FEMA. The funds come through FEMA down to Texas Division of Emergency Management, and then it goes down to the county. As the county knows, some of these grants, the wheels turn kind of slow sometimes. You're dealing with the feds on them. This particular group of 5 grants, these applications were submitted in September of 2018. 2 of these grants are generator projects. Generator projects are what they refer to as one-phase projects. The road projects, or the other 3 projects, those are 2-phase projects. The first phase is the design of the project. That's submitted, gets approved by FEMA, it gets approved by TDM, then by FEMA, then they come back and they authorize us to go to phase 2 on the project. That's what Mr. Oates had talked about earlier. On these particular projects, it is a minimum of 25% match. Any overage beyond the project, once you submit the application, any overages are picked up by the county itself. Most of the grants we assist the county with are reimbursement grants. This is what we consider a full reimbursement grant. When we say full, what we mean by that is you have to not only incur that expense has to be paid. We have to provide proof that expense has been paid with the canceled checks before we can submit for reimbursement to TDM for those projects. So the first 2 projects we have that have gone through to completion are the generator projects. One of them at Toledo Bend Volunteer Fire Department, one at Burkeville Fire Department. Those were submitted several months ago for reimbursement. Toledo Bend was approved as of last Friday for payment. Burkeville has not been approved yet. So the other 3 projects, once again, are road projects. We have had the kickoff meetings for precinct 1 and precinct 2, and precinct 4, we're still pending design approval by TDM on that particular project. On the TDM projects, any questions?
I got to pay the $180,000 up front.
Yes, sir. Plus the 45.
45.
Don't forget the 45.
Just like in the case of Mr. Crombie, at this point in time, he's out for the 2 generator projects until he can get his budget reimbursed for those 2 projects. All right, the next thing we have on here, TDA, that's the Texas Department of Agriculture project. That's a 2020 project that got funded. 3 of the precincts, the project was for materials only, and then in precinct 4, it included construction as well. Those projects, to the best of my knowledge, are complete at this point in time. There again, the total grant funds for that all in is $275,000. Any run over on that is the liability of the county. Each one of those projects, as you can see, ran over to some degree. And I believe Mr. Oates and them has been with each of the commissioners and discussed that on it. Mr. Benson, you came out pretty good, $39.14.
I know. Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
All right, so here before long, we will be submitting the closed act grant program app. And once again, that's the 2020 project funded through Texas Department of Agriculture. The GLO project, once again, that's the one that we've been working on for a while. The housing side of that, as y'all know, we submitted to the General Land Office to have some of those funds moved into infrastructure. The GLO has approved it, HUD has approved it. Now it's come back down. We're still processing paperwork, but things are going in the right direction on it. As far as the housing projects, the rehab reconstruct, y'all help me out if I'm wrong on it, ladies, but we've got 2 houses that are pending completion, reconstruct, or is it 1? 1, 2 houses that are rehab. And then we're still working on the buyouts. We still have several of the buyout projects we need to complete processing.
And where's that focused at, Mark, the buyouts? Deweyville?
Most of them are down in the Deweyville area. That's where they incurred the most damage. Once again, this particular grant program, this was through the 2016 flooding. And so that's where a lot of the structures did flood. On the infrastructure side, once again, on page 2, you'll see the list of the projects that were completed and what we're referring to as phase 1 of that project. And then below that, you'll see the phase 2 projects that we will be coming back with and including once the General Land Office does approve the amendment on those funds. And we will be meeting with the General Land Office later on today to get a status update on those funds. On the GLO grant, as y'all see, and I'm sure y'all are fully aware, there is no match commitment on this grant. This is 100% paid through the General Land Office on that particular grant program. Moving on to page 3, this is the Harvey infrastructure, once again funded through the General Land Office. Precinct 1, 3, and 4, those projects should be complete at this point in time. Precinct 2, I think we're pending some utility relocation on those projects, so the contractor can get out there, get back on that project and complete it. There again, there is no match commitment on those projects either. Harvey buyout, once again, we applied for both of those applications at the same time, the infrastructure and the buyout program. We are in the process of processing those applications. And we have 57 buyout applications we're working on at this point in time.
I think due to withdrawals, I think we're down to like 40.
Okay, all right. We have had some withdrawal on that. Some homeowners at this point in time have either changed their mind. Some of them have already sold their property, but we are still processing those. Once again, Texas Department of Agriculture, 21-22. Community Development Block Grant application. That application, once again, those are 2-year funding cycles. We submitted that application. We were hoping for it to be funded in the 2nd year funding. We do not know the status of that at this point in time. We still have hopes. It's still looking good for 2nd year funding. We won't know on that for several months yet. And that's the project to assist with the East Newton Water Supply Corporation. That particular grant is a $350,000 grant with a local match commitment of $17,500. And then we have the Harvey MIP grant, which we recently got funded. There again, you can see the bridges and box culverts that we have listed on that particular grant. At this point in time, they are under design and environmental assessment. And so we're moving along with those. I know that's a lot. I know that was short and sweet. Any questions of myself? And I think as far as any of the projects that involve engineering, I think Mr. Oates was involved in those. So we can drag him in to answer any questions as well, if needed.
What was our other generator project? It's all under the down in Harrisburg, but actually at the whole change.
Okay. That will be, once again, the first projects that are listed on here, the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. That will be an application that we will be submitting under the current funding cycle. Okay. Real quickly, just to kind of bore you off for just a minute, Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, that's for mitigation projects. If FEMA comes into an area, if there's a natural disaster, FEMA comes in, provides assistance, which the threshold for them to come in is 47 million and some change. Otherwise, FEMA won't come in and provide a dime in the state of Texas. But if you meet that threshold, once that disaster is over with, then a percentage of the FEMA funds that went into that disaster, they make available to mitigate against hopefully no future disaster, but should you have them, it's for mitigation purposes only. And what Mr. Bean was referring to is the generator project that the county has authorized us to submit under a current cycle that's funded through the COVID disaster. So we'll be submitting that application.
So are we gonna try to be through with our road projects, middle of the summer, end of the year? We're gonna try to be there? Is that what our goal is? That's the last round, right?
Well, yes, sir. Well, we've got, yes, the 2016 phase 2 is is the money that was moved out of housing that was unused. We just need GLO to give us a approved amendment to get going.
And as y'all know, that process is at this point in time taken well over a year.
Right.
We're hopeful. We're down in the final stretch on it at this point in time, getting to the point where we can move forward with that.
The last group that Mark went over, the 2016 bid, I'm working on the preliminary engineering report right now and anticipate getting that off to y'all in about a week. Along with our surveyors, you'll be seeing our surveyors out on the next projects. So, but the goal here is to get these things designed, get them environmentally cleared, and then we can come back to y'all to go bids.
And once again, backing up to the first page, the HMGP project, at this point in time, TDM has authorized us to go to phase 2 on 2 of those road projects, and we're still pending the 3rd project down at Precinct 4.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Mark. Motion,
I'll make it.
second. A second.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Thompson and seconded by Commissioner White. All in favor, like the same sign, aye. Pose sign, same, pass, 4. Okay, we're going to put number 12 and 13 together like always. Extends the COVID-19 disaster declaration until April 11th and also extends the Hurricane Laura disaster also until April 11th. We're going to put them together. Y'all need a motion?
Make it.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Benson and seconded by Commissioner Thompson. In favor, using the same sign, aye. Both signs, same, carried. Okay, number 14 is the payment of bills, Ms. Sherry.
Okay. General fund, $465,335.72. District Attorney State Fund, $2,105.12. Road and Bridge General, $32,131.27. Road and Bridge Precinct 1, $18,987.80. Road and Bridge Precinct 2, $25,915.69. Road and Bridge Precinct 3, $21,514.43. Road and Bridge Precinct 4, $23,218.38. Courthouse Security, $139.58. VAW grant, $5,265.92. Commissioner Special Precinct 1, $37,969.66. Commissioner Special Precinct 2, $50,981.33. Commissioner Special Precinct 3, $23,594.84. And Commissioner Special Precinct 4, $85,854.50. Dedicated Road Precinct 2, $2,070.78. Record Preservation, $1,506.95. Solid Waste Disposal, $30,760.13. Newton County Library, $10,727.53. Historical Operating, $4,036.46. District Attorney Hot Check, $275.47. Grants, $156,004.30. Technology Fund, $470.11. For a total of all funds, $1,362,56. $1,303,626.56. I'll get it straight. I got twisted there. All right, $1,003,626.56.
Getting better, ain't
Better, cut down. Any questions?
it? Get a motion to approve the bills.
Make that motion.
You get it, Becky? Yeah. So you're still over there, kind of,
Need a second?
okay. She didn't hear.
A second.
All in favor, same sign, aye. Opposed, same sign. Pass 4. Take a motion to adjourn. Second, Philip.
Yeah, second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner White and seconded by Commissioner Thompson to make the motion, and second by Commissioner White. And all in favor, use same sign, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same, pass 4. Well, that's the lowest it's been in a while, that $1 million.